Okay, Fernando, thank you for coming. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you got to answer them with your honest opinions, okay?
All right.
Since this is about the subculture gamers, you and a good friend are actually the right subjects. All right. One of my questions to you is, how do the members interact?
The members, well, it depends on what kind of game they're playing, though. Really, if it's a very competitive game, well, you might get a pinch of disrespect. If it's like a co-op game or any games where we have to work together, of course it's gonna be a good interaction. But I actually prefer games where people actually are actually working together, because it actually improves social and problem solving skills.
Okay. What are the values, ideas, and philosophies for gamers?
For gamers?
Yes.
Can you repeat that question?
What are the values, ideas, and philosophies of gamers?
I don't really know how to answer that, really. How about you, George? What do you think? What would you say?
I would say practice. I think it's one of the philosophies of gamers is always practice just to get better at the game. And other philosophies would be
Define exploits.
Maybe find exploits. That's not exactly a philosophy.
I know.
Like cheese strats, like in Pokemon.
Like strategy, right? Basically, right? Strategy.
I think philosophies are like what the gamer would more follow to get through like a game. Like if they want to follow through and finish a good game, they would either have a good strategy, have good practice, and
commitment.
Yeah, commitment.
Yeah.
All right. One of the questions was, what space do they inhabit? But I'm already gonna do one thing. I already know we got like a student lounge here in the Art Institute, like so easily. But I'm gonna do like another little video of just walking in, showing a video of my stepbrother playing Fortnite. It's gonna be funny.
Oh, that's cool.
I would be like, there you go, there's one place. He does this every day, every week. Especially always. All right. What does the subculture do, and what makes them a distinct subculture?
I mean, one actually is the high popularity for games, isn't it? Yeah.
Gamers is one of the most popular subcultures.
Yeah, it is.
What makes them that popular? Okay. Thank you for coming. And right now, my first question. Here's how we're gonna work this. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and you're gonna answer them with your honesty. Okay?
Of course.
My first question to you is, are you personally a part of the subculture gamers?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Now, here's a question that you might know. The question is, what are the backgrounds of the members of the gamers subculture?
Backgrounds, I suppose, if I had to make a general statement about gamers, we tend to be reclusive. We sort of veer away from the spotlight, I suppose you could say, unless we're behind the screen or behind our computer screen. That's a general public opinion. I would say that gamers are some of the most intuitive thinkers, because we are used to problem solving in different ways. That's the background of gamers to me.
What are the subculture artifacts or symbols in the subculture?
I think that gamers, we tend to look at video games not just for their entertainment value, but for pieces of those games that represent ourselves, such as historic value. The new God of War just came out for the PS4, and it has a lot of mythological symbols in it, particularly pertaining to Norse mythology. So that's just one example. There are many examples across the board.
For this raid, Omcon enlisted Temujin's horde.
How does a person achieve? How does a person's achieve status in the subcultural group affect that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
How does a person's achieve status in the subcultural group?
Okay, so the easiest way to achieve status in any gamer group is to play games. Just play a lot of games.
Figures.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me the age range of the gamers?
Anybody can be a gamer at any age. Like, as young as I've seen kids with walking around with iPads.
Oh,
you know,
trust me, I haven't.
Yeah,
Right? I got a nephew who's like that.
yeah. So ages 2, 3 years old to 45, 50, 60 years old.
Alright. Does the gamer subculture reside in an urban, suburban, or rural area?
I would say mostly urban and suburban.
Okay.
Rural, you're going to have a little less access to that, I would assume, based on the fact that you're away from
Technology. and all?
technology, general society. The cultural
Yeah.
norms are a bit different out there.
Okay. Alright. What are the values of this subculture pertaining their subculture?
The values?
Yes.
I could go across an entire spectrum: educational, historical. You could learn a lot from gaming. People tend to look at gaming as this center for. I think it's really popular. Every time a tragedy of some kind occurs or something like that, gaming is bashed upon for its violence and the gore and the sexual themes and stuff like that. But I think gaming has a lot to teach us. As long as the developers keep in mind the fact that their audience has a lot to learn.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming. You have answered all the questions I needed to ask you, and make sure you say hi to YouTube for everyone.
Hi to YouTube for everyone.
And looks like your time is up. Alright, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you for coming, Martin. I got a few questions for you, and you're gonna answer them with your honest opinion. One of my questions is, are you part of this, are you personally part of this subculture of gamers?
I'd say I'm more like casual. I wouldn't say like hardcore, like stay up at, for like 24 hours or more gaming, but I guess you could say I am.
Okay. What is your relation with the culture?
What do you mean exactly?
Like, how do you feel about the gamer culture?
I think they're cool people. I like it. I pay attention to a lot of different games and several YouTubers that do Let's Plays and whatnot.
Okay.
You're back!
Now, here's the main one. What do you think gives this subculture its identity? What gives gamers their identity?
I don't know. I think, you mean as a group or as like individuals?
Can you repeat that again?
You mean as like a group or as individual like gamers?
Group.
As a group. Well, I think partly, the types of games that they play, how much they're into what they do.
Okay.
I think that there's like different types of gamers. There's the hardcore gamers, and there's the slightly less hardcore, but then there's like people like me who game casually, but not, to excess.
Okay. Now, do you think gamers use a specific language? And if so, can you give me an example? Like, give me a phrase they use in gamers.
A lot of the times they use shorthand, or they use like acronyms for certain things. Like, for example, like if they start talking with someone, and if they want to differentiate between in the game and in real life they'll say IRL. Or if someone's away from their keyboard for a while, they'll say AFK or stuff like that.
Okay. Now, here's your last question. What do you think is their level of education so far?
Oh, it can vary. Some are in college, some have graduated from college, some are, they could be dropouts, they could be graduates. They're,
So what you're
they
saying
encompass-
is it could be a variety from different ages and different levels of their education.
Yeah. I know there's a stereotype of, like people that like live in their mother's basements or are, losers of some type that, don't have a certain level of education, but that's just, that doesn't apply to everyone. You could be from any walk of life. I'm pretty sure there are ex-military or people that are currently in the military. People from all walks of life can be gamers.
Okay. Well, that's all I got for you right now. Martin, thank you so much for your help and participation. And you're definitely getting a shout out after this. Alright?
Do you know Dewey?
I know Dewey. Alright, Dad. What are the norms of gamers?
Norms of gamers is the attire they wear, the clothes that they like to represent, their favorite characters, their pastimes in regards to what they like. You're talking about gamers. Can't find a Pokemon gamer that doesn't have Pikachu or Squirtle or Charizard.
Okay. What is the geographical location of gamers that occupies? For example, city, state, or a neighborhood, and how does it influence gamers?
Gamers are worldwide. It's something that, kind of like Facebook, to where gamers can get online, they can communicate with people all over this world. I can sit there and play a game and be playing with somebody that's in Australia or playing with somebody that's in Japan. How cool is that to be live with somebody and playing a game together that you both like, and you can have a friendship begin from just being interested in the same games.
Okay. Can you give a little history of some of the areas in terms of how it developed, when and where the influx of immigrants came from, and what major industries were presented, etc.?
Say that one more time.
Give a little history of the area in terms of how it developed, when and where the influx of immigrants came from, and what major industries were present, etc.
Well, one of the things about gaming is it's not even so much about immigrants. I don't know what you really mean by immigrants, but if you're talking about people that didn't grow up in the United States, okay, I understand that. But the reason why technology has expanded and games have become so amazing right now with the cross platforms and the different anime and graphics and everything else that's coming out right now, and why it's just advancing at such a rapid pace, is because of the fact that we've opened our eyes and started finding the best of the best people from every corner of this planet to be able to help increase our technology. Not just being blinded and saying that the only people that should be out there developing are people that were born and taught here. That doesn't mean anything. And then with having the internet capacity to be able to help each other develop games from across the world, you can get multiple divisions to work together to where they're developing great stuff.
Okay. Do the gamers interact frequently with each other?
Absolutely. What's the whole purpose of gaming if you can't play against other people to see if you can beat them at every level? Who doesn't want to be the best at their favorite game?
That is a good point.
And what's even better than being the best and talking trash to your best friend when he's on the other end of that losing game? Doesn't get any better. It's just friendly competition.
how often do people have face-to-face interactions with the gamers?
I would say quite a bit, because with the way technology is set up now, and most people have cameras and video cameras, you see your friends on games all the time. You just watch a YouTube channel and they'll show you playing them. They'll show video of them playing the video of them playing the video.
That is a good point. Does the gamers demonstrate an artistic expression, and if so, how?
Just look at the games. You've got sports games that look real. You've got futuristic and Star Wars type games that look like you're in outer space. That you've got RPG type games that can put you into a fantasy world.
You guys should definitely try Warframe, though.
You've got combat games that make you feel like you're right in the middle of Vietnam or Desert Storm or even the Afghanistan war. You can go anywhere with games. And you want to talk about artistic and creative, that's where the imagination is completely and 100% released. So absolutely artistic.
Okay, Dad, thank you so much. That was all the questions I had for you.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Conclusion, gamers can be anything they want. Whether they be tabletop gamers or freaking video game gamers. Celebrating about E3 or even more. Gamers are gamers no matter what culture you're in. Everyone is a gamer. They just gotta release it inside them. And this is gonna be the best video thing ever that I've done so far. Because this is like one of the longest videos I've done. Next to my Cards Against Humanity's video. But I'll be seeing you guys next time on the next video. Peace out.